Worship the void in a world without kings. Iron sky bleeds rust and ash. Time hangs still, a snake in glass. I know before God a smoke, he gave me silence, then he spoke. Bow to the wheel that grinds your bones, kneel to the hollow throne. Chains like roots around my spine, faith and fear have been aligned. I saw the future, felt it blink, a godless mouth too wide to drag. This isn't life, it's looping code. Program sins that I don't own. I dream in static, choke on fate. Inside the gears I suffocate. Beneath the soil, the city's hum. Prayers fed into machines that run. The truth is metal, not divine. No mercy lives inside the line. I wear the mask, I say the script. A ghost in chains that never slipped. The gods are dead, their children reign in fleshless tech and thoughtless pain. Seven eyes, seven horns, seven codes where man is born. I saw the lamb, I saw the wire, burning truth, synthetic fire. This isn't life, it's looping code. Hollow gods in download mode. I scream in static, breathe in rust. And all I built will turn to
Yo, I forgot how hard that theme song goes. That's ours.
That was a jam.
You can't hear that nowhere else. You gotta listen to Jersey Radio for that one.
I was getting some like Linkin Park vibes. Too bad Greg's not here. We're going to talk all about Linkin Park.
I know. But man, we're talking about AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Forbidden Door 2025, baby. That shit was sick. That was good shit. The streak of AEW pay-per-views being awesome continues. There were some divisive finishes on this show. Some people are really angry about some of the finishes on this show, particularly some of the title matches. But we'll get into that as soon. We've got Nick LaRocco, Baby John Escudero, and Big John Escudero all here live to talk about this show. Forbidden Door London. There was
Nick and two Johnnies.
The post show is going on right now, and Tony Khan made an interesting announcement, or at least I thought it was interesting, that from now on, he specifically said, I want to read his quote because I don't have the clip, but he specifically said, from now on, Casino Gauntlet contract executions must be done with at least 1 week's notice. No money in the bank shit here. None of that shit is going to be happening in AEW. He says, I think it's important to promote championship matches. I don't want to have a big ticket championship match that we are unable to advertise. He said, I don't necessarily want to utilize a stipulation here that is being utilized in other places. I'm not trying to duplicate what other people are doing. I really believe we are our own promotion. Going forward, from now on, I think the right thing to do is that all contract executions should be on at least 1 week's notice so that we can properly promote the matches and give fans notice and have the integrity of a championship match. At this point, he starts repeating and rambling. You know how he does. It can be endearing. It can push people away. I like it. But
well,
yeah.
It's kind of the end then of what... The only one I could think of that was like a Money in the Bank cash was Christian Cage and Luchasaurus.
Yeah, Christian Cage, and he also cashed it. Yeah, he cashed it in Christian cashed in a world championship match at Revolution, and it sucked that he did that. But it sucked because nobody remembers that it happened. You have to think about it. You're like, oh yeah, that's right, he did do that. He failed too. But yeah, man, we can get right into Forbidden Door. We can talk about that main event actually, as we like to do here, starting off at the back. Lights out, steel cage match. Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating the Death Riders, the Young Bucks, Gabe Kidd. Fuck. It was exactly as advertised, wasn't it? Anything goes, everything goes. What is it? These tables, ladders, and bears. Oh my! There is a.
It's hit the fan.
Shit has hit the fan. I had a great time, man.
No, not the gummy bears.
There was a lot. There was a lot to take in here. I wanna kind of. I have a little recap written here that I can bring up. I had some pictures, but it's hard to kind of find.
Admittedly, we had a lot of pictures to upload.
It's there's a lot going on.
Up.
So instead, I'll bring up our website, which is always fun to look at. The Dershi Radio website. Visit DershiRadio.com for all your pro wrestling news results. Look at that, results. We do results here. Let's give that the big.
Look at that.
The big window. We also have our recaps on the Dershi Radio Facebook page, which you can find on Facebook.com. You can follow us on Twitter, TikTok. We're doing pretty good on TikTok now. That's surprising. I didn't know you could just post pictures. I was like, with news, of course. I was like, I thought they really wanted me to make videos. I don't have the time right now. But yeah, follow us there. Check out the website and also our Dershi Radio Facebook, where I'm going to be finding our clips that we posted. So,
follow us.
Will Ospreay's entrance, he had this love letter from Alex Windsor, which was really cool, because he's going to be leaving no matter what to do surgery after this. So it was a pretty big deal for Ospreay, trying to keep the volume off of this so that we don't get in trouble by All Elite Wrestling for stealing their pay-per-views. Thank you for joining us, my son. Well, yeah, Ospreay getting sung to, serenaded in the crowd. The Young Bucks entrance, though, that's where the money was, because they had earlier in the night told the production team to have our weapons and our old music ready. And so the production said, you want your old music? You got it. They gave them their indie theme song, Bop, by Hanson, which everybody and their mother started going crazy. Yeah. Kenny Omega jamming in the ring. Will Ospreay singing along. I think Kenny asked him, you know this? And Ospreay's like, I know Bop. Yeah, see? Y'all hear this shit in the UK? But
oh man, I knew too. Like the second you got lights out with so many wrestlers together, you know, you get those Anarchy in the Arena vibes. You know, there's going to be a licensed song somewhere in the match.
I first of all, let's talk about that cage too. I really like that cage. I was thinking, sometimes I'm more of a fan of the bootleg looking Ring of Honor New Japan cage that they use. It just feels more like pro wrestling to me. But this was nice, polished. Like I'd like to see them use this again. Also, Will Ospreay. Third time in a row, he comes and he fucking takes a cage match and he's involved in some extraterrestrial cage shit, some alien shit, some out of this world cage match shit. I admittedly, for a long time, WWE had kind of pushed me off of cage matches because of the way they did theirs. Not now, they're a lot better now, but for a while they had this one, the escape stipulation. And it was
all
fucking
about the escapes.
Always about the escapes, and it kind of sucked, but. Lately my mind is changed on cage matches. I'm excited for them, and this was fucking nuts. But the Young Bucks
started and almost ended the match on top of a steel cage.
Like I mentioned earlier in the night, the Young Bucks told production to give them the fucking make sure they have weapons ready for them. So the Bucks had a bag with their name written on it, and when they go to empty it out for thumbtacks, it turns out it's fucking gummy bears. So the match started off with some classic PWG-ish antics, but you just kind of knew that this wasn't going to stay fun and clean for long. Although this was great. This is like spot of the year.
I still love the way too that Moxley ran in. There's like, what? You said there'd be thumbtacks. Where are the thumbtacks? Where's the glass?
This is not why I invited you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, from fucking thumbtacks. I mean, from gummy bears and fun to Darby Allin getting his ear busted open on this ladder, and I'm not sure how it happened. Like,
I think
did it?
I think it wasn't the ladder. He came in the ring with blood on the side of his face.
Okay, so he was already fucked up, and yeah, I never learned where it came from, but it definitely got worse because shortly after this, John Moxley puts a fucking fork in the wound to the point where I had to censor it for Facebook because we have had issues with censorship and
It looked
Facebook
like
in the
it
past.
split.
This is something that would have killed us dead, probably, as far as restrictions. But we can't even show the video here. It's just sick.
Oh man,
There's a fucking.
it's like the worst version of Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy.
It's the ultimate fucking destination for that spot. Like this is about as far as that goes.
This is the next evolution.
You can't take it any further than that. There was a moment where the baby faces had to stop Tanahashi from climbing up the cage and diving. And Will Ospreay goes up and does it instead. Picture perfect moonsault, the last one we'll see from Ospreay until fucking 2025 or 2026. 2026 at least. Horrifying to think about. I've taken him for granted, admittedly. I'm so sad about thinking about AEW without Will Ospreay. Generally, like this is gonna suck. I mean, the company's fine. I'm sure they will be fine, but I've taken the Will Ospreay match for granted. I'm gonna miss it.
You know, apart from like Hangman, you know, you've got Ospreay leaving because he's hurt. You know, Swerve's basically hurt and probably leaving too soon.
Yeah, he's out. Kenny's on a part-time. He's definitely not going to be back like right after this. But they look like they're setting something up with Moxley and Kenny. So
Definitely, though, it's an opportunity for a lot more to see who the young guns are. They're going to step up to the plate then.
Speaking of young guns, Wheeler Yuta climbs up the cage, and this was funny as fuck. You're not gonna see it here, or maybe you can see it on the bottom. Excalibur is pulling the Japanese announce team. Like, I forgot her name. She's so nice.
Despy, no.
But Despy doesn't move. I'm like, what did Desperado think? Like, I think he was like, what the fuck is this spot? Like, should I leave? Like, did nobody warn me? Like, am I supposed to catch this man? I
think
But
Despy is
Excalibur didn't
trying
even
to.
try to save him. He was too worried about the hose.
Excalibur. It's like, no, Desperado got himself. He wears a lucha mask. He's a fellow mask wearer. He knows what's going on. This woman with glasses does not. But I feel like Desperado's wrestling instinct. Fucking died.
Taking out the
The
Japanese.
table-
If him standing there, say the table did fully collapse, it was going to crush Despy's shit.
The Japanese team
I feel like people were telling him move, but he really couldn't. He was like, I can't. Like, I will not. That is a fellow wrestler. What do you mean move? We don't do this shit.
Yeah,
No, he
I bet.
did.
His probably instinct is to stand. I'll catch him.
And then on the other side, fucking Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd go. Gabe Kidd is actually never seen again.
the face and
He just died on that. Fucking murdered.
crash and burn.
And was that supposed to be a reversal or? No, they both just died.
Yeah, I told him like Darby's like, nah, you're coming with me.
It's like, what the fuck?
Wrenching
But it's just absolute insanity all the way through. The match finishes with Tanahashi getting the pin, and we look like we're gonna give Will Ospreay a moment to himself. Also, we get this cool clip of the return of the one-winged angel hidden blade combination from the Grand Slam tag team match. Bang! Beautiful. I love it. Did not end the match though. Tanahashi hits that high fly flow, gets the win. Ospreay looks like he's going to be able to say goodbye, and I honestly thought that was it. I thought that was enough. He's gonna say bye, and it's emotional enough. And the fucking Claudio smoked his ass. Boom!
I was so swerved by that.
Killed him. John Moxley hits him with like 100 Death Rider DDTs. And then they stomp his head in the chair. He's gone. If he wasn't gone before, he's definitely gone now.
Because AEW doesn't usually do stuff too that comes up after that, kind of farewell card on the bottom.
I know, that was a twist. I was like, I was okay with it, and they were like, boom, he's dead.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, cool. Wait, what?
I like that. I like that swerve. I've always liked the copyright information and the credits coming up, and then. No, we're not done yet. I love that shit. But yeah, well, Ospreay is definitely dead, definitely gone, and we won't be seeing him until at least 2026. Hopefully 2026. These neck surgeries, they can be from 12 to 15 months. 12 months is if you're lucky. And unfortunately, for a guy like Ospreay, he probably will be lucky when he should take the 15 months. Because goddamn, man. What did y'all think of this whole match, everything that happened in the lights out steel cage? John Jr., you go first.
This rambunctious, crazy match. The one small thing I noticed after the match, I was scrolling on Twitter, someone said they removed the AEW license logo in the middle of the ring because they weren't responsible for anything that happened. Like you can see right there, it was there the whole night. It's not there.
That's right. I didn't notice that until after either. They took their logo off because they will not be held responsible for what happened in a lights out unsanctioned cage that we built the cage for. Bryan Danielson also before the match saying that he had to leave because he had too many personal issues with people in the match and because it's unsanctioned. I was like, that's a cool touch. But yeah, Nick, what did you think?
Oh man, there is so much to be said about this match. I mean, you think about how England's got like a lot of that very like hardcore, dedicated fan base. So, anytime there's gonna be a botch over the years, you'd see fans, completely trashing it, you effed up, But in this instance, like, no, they didn't care. It was just, again, pandemonium, chaos, whatever word you're looking for. It was there. Like, anytime a guy was going, like, maybe a little too fast, maybe slipped off the rope, they would just still, like, go back and do it. And I can't even begin to count how many times. Like, I'm thinking of 3 moments in particular, too, where the crowd was saying things along the line of, please don't die, or please be careful, and things like that. So, it was a wild, crazy death match. And at the same time, it was really cool. One of my favorite moments will always be the ace being able to have that moment where it's like a standoff and it's like 5-on-1. And, we kept seeing earlier in the match leading up to that, he's been taken down like for one way or another. But then it's like he just has that surge. The fighting spirit reigns hard. And we get to see the ace for one of his last appearances being able to just go toe-to-toe with every single person at once. And that was really cool.
That is it's definitely probably his last AEW appearance, and it's crazy that they were able to get Tanahashi into this kind of AEW match. Like, this is not Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like, you don't see Tanahashi in cage matches, let alone lights out steel cage, fucking
cage of
pandemonium. Like,
you wouldn't see someone that's got that level of tradition and elegance to him be in a match like this, but he did, and he killed it.
It's kind of poetic. I'm not sure if it was on purpose or not, but Tanahashi being the first person to step through the Forbidden Door, period, between AEW and New Japan. The relationship was bad when Tanahashi made the comment, created the term Forbidden Door for Chris Jericho or wherever that fucking situation was. And for him to, in the last year of his career, after however many Forbidden Door appearances, do an AEW match, like full on fucking craziness, is just cool. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Funny, but like I said, my favorite thing was seeing him, the way they use him. Like you said, there was a standoff moment. There was the spot that showed that he wanted to do things, but everyone was like, get the fuck out of here. You're fucking old as fuck. Get down.
Don't do it.
Nick. You're blurry as hell.
I
We
know,
miss you.
I know. I'll miss you too. I'll come back eventually. Let's try this if that works. Maybe I don't know. Sometimes that happens. But anyways, listen. Like another one of the moments too that was really standing out to me beyond just like the gummy bears was again like the Bucks. And we saw this too with Rod and Todd on Collision last night. There's the complete and utter disrespect for them. So you had the bop going on, but then there's some moments that might have been like quick to miss because they really didn't show it all too well. But just like they had on Collision, you had those moments where Matthew or Nicholas was missing something, and then they get mad, and then they kick into the cage, but then they'd accidentally like stub their foot in the cage.
Their transformation into these jobber bucks with bad luck is just perfect. It's funny how wrestling works because people forever have been acting like they don't like the Young Bucks, but objectively, sorry, the Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams in the history of pro fucking wrestling, and there's nothing you can do to change that. When they are retired, their legacy will be untouched. AEW will exist, and it will be partly because of them. Like that, partly because they were so successful as a tag team in New Japan that there was nowhere else for them to go but into WWE, where tag team wrestling wasn't a priority. So they helped create a fucking company where they can be used as a top act. Like that is not a thing that happens to single stars, let alone a fucking tag team. So yes, the Young Bucks are one of the greatest of all time, and that bothers people. But it bothers the weird kind of wrestling fan, the one that is so easy to manipulate that all they had to do was make the Young Bucks act like they're having bad luck, and all of a sudden these fans are like, I like them now. So it's like, oh, you fucking keys jingling ass fans. Yeah, I got my daughter in the background trying to sing, I think. but
Singing "Mbop" by Hanson.
Exactly. I don't know how she learned the song, but I didn't. Like, I was not embarrassed, but I was just like, damn, I don't think I know this song. Like I don't fucking. Everybody in the crowd was singing, and all people in my fucking group chats going crazy, and I was like, I don't know this fucking song at all. I guess I'm too urban. I was too much of a street rat. They didn't play Mbop in Hot 97. Power 1051.
I'm gonna pull up their archive. I guarantee they did.
I promise you they did not. 97 playing Bob would be actually maybe they did it for a gag. But we could take it to the pre-show now, and I'll run through the pre-show pretty fast because it was
a solid pre-show though.
It was a great pre-show though. It was fucking stacked. There were 4 matches. They had Yuya Uemura, the Paragon, and El Desperado defeating the Don Callis family and the Crew. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
I love Yuya. I think Tony Khan probably doesn't know Yuya enough because he had him on the goddamn pre-show when he should have been in the main show.
And Yuya had a great showcase too in the G1.
That's what made me kind of have a new outlook on him. He had just come from fucking TNA doing bullshit with Joe Hendry singing and fucking playing along with whatever they got going on, and I'm sure that's the idea of him that Tony Khan still had. But nah, man, just like Kyle O'Reilly looked right into the camera and said on the pre-show, "This guy's dope as hell." Pretty good match. Post-match, the heels jump the baby faces. Ishii runs out for the save. They clear the ring of the heels, but Roderick Strong won't let Kyle celebrate with Ishii. I like to think that's because Ishii took the Ring of Honor television championship from him way back when, and he just never let it go. But we will. That's interesting. An interesting development, and we'll see how it turns out, I guess, on Collision, because that's where they live. Fucking incredible spot here where Michael Oku almost died in this 6-man tag match between Oku and what the fuck is their tag name? Why do I always forget it? Jesus. Jet Speed. Where's the Jet? I guess he's the Jet Kevin Knight, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. God damn it. It's just Kevin Knight to me. I was never calling him the Jet.
Kevin the Jet Knight.
It's so weird. He doesn't fly anymore, I guess. Oh yeah. Yes, he does. What am I talking
Golden
about?
Jets.
But yeah, they lost to Ricochet and the
Gates
Gates
of
of Agony, who I love. I love the Gates of Agony. They're so good. They a little bit more polishing, and they're gonna be so fucking good. They're one of the only big man acts in AEW that wrestles their size. Like they're just like, I don't even know how to flip. I've never done a flip in my fucking life. You understand? So they got the win. After that, we had the Triangle of Madness and Megan Bain defeating Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Queen Aminata, and Chris Statlander. That was pretty good. I want to see more women on the main card, though. We're gonna bundle them all up into this 8-person tag match, and even included people that weren't in the match. So, like on the pre-show, and then the main event of the pre-show was Shibata and his children, the Bullet Club War Dogs, who I'm pretty sure he trained each one of them. The Ops defeating the Bullet Club War Dogs in the main event. And like I said, cool stuff with Shibata and Clark Connors and fucking Drilla Maloney versus Joe, which I didn't know I wanted until now. I need that as a singles match immediately. Now, if we get to the main show, we've got Adam Copeland and Christian opening up.
Oh yeah. Ian
Edge and Christian. I call him Adam Copeland if I have to write results, but I'm not fucking calling him by his government given name. That's Edge. Actually, bullshit. Before that, we got the announcement. Right before this match, we got the announcement that AEW has made has broken the record for the most fans in the O2 arena. The previous record being made by Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. I forgot that Roman teamed with Solo. Anyway, AEW says almost 18,000, almost 19,000 fans in the building for this show. So they'll
They're
deserve
completely
the
sold out on Ticketmaster.
100% sold out. If there were any empty seats, you couldn't see them on camera. Good job. Good on them. That's the company that's dying, by the way. It really sucks to hear. I'll miss them. Oh, I've got my daughter trying to make an interference. But yeah, the main show starts with Adam Copeland and Christian defeating Kill Switch and Kip Sabian. God, it's really hard to pull these pictures up. I'm trying. There we go. Oh, wrong year. There we go. Much older, much angrier. Edge giving his asshole face as best he can. It was a pretty damn good match. Edge and Christian pulled out a lot of the old double team impaler and a lot of their old double team moves. We also got maybe the best AEW crowd singing Edge's theme song. I think we can play audio on that. But I would like to play that clip just because London fucking killed it. I actually can't hear Nick. Did you mute yourself? That's great. We found the one baddie. Yeah, fucking great. I love that. I love that that's a thing now. People, I got to do it once in Los Angeles. Wasn't as loud as, oh my God, fucking hell. Don't have
Loud as
kids if
that.
you want to do live content. It wasn't as loud as that. The decibels didn't get up there, but this is cool. Asshole Christian Cage, no longer a father, just an asshole. And like I said, really good stuff. Edge doing what the fuck he does. Probably not the best spear balls. So
It looked better from the replay angle.
It did. And then pop-up spear for the win, which is really fucking cool. Bow! It's like a shatter machine spear, almost. I don't think... Have they done that before? I feel like that's a new...
I never seen that.
Anyway, great stuff from Edge and Christian. We lost Nick, who I was wondering, where did he go? Mac said, Neek! There is no Neek. Mac, you jinxed it. He died. Oh, shit. Anyway, we post-match. We had Kyle Fletcher defeating Hiromu Takahashi in a fucking banger.
I haven't
I
seen a lot of Takahashi matches either. This is one of the first ones I saw. It was really good.
You have to watch Hiromu Takahashi versus Will Ospreay, Hiromu Takahashi versus Dragon Lee. There's a lot, man. I miss Dragon Lee. Remember Dragon Lee? It sucks he retired so fucking early.
I can't believe he passed away.
He had a long career ahead of him. Anyway, Nick, what did you think of Adam Copeland and Christian defeating Kip Sabian and Killswitch?
The crowd for this match, I think, really... No, I don't even think it was for this match, because I think even during the pre-show they were loud. They kept talking how like they went over 100 decibels on the pre-show, and it just got more and more greater as the show progressed. And you could really tell here when it was a fever pitch, and they were even just singing and serenading the always great, amazing, beautiful Mother Wayne, the mother of AEW. And
They were singing to Christian. They were saying, "Hey, Christian, would
they
you
were
be
singing-
my ass?" I was
There
like,
was-
"What?"
They were singing to like every single person, because they also did a chant at one point for like Kip Sabian's beautiful hair. Like it was getting wild.
But you know, on the flip side of that, they burned themselves out early.
I can see that.
They were at the end of the show. They were reacting to the big moments, but
Not
they
so
were
much.
like resting in between. Like they were waiting for things to happen.
One of my favorite moments though was, and it was just when Luchasaurus the Kill Switchosaurus, when he was just attacking anything and anyone completely indiscriminately. Like he is, the simulacrum. He is Frankenstein's monster basically, and he didn't care if Sabian was in the way. He was just there to destroy.
He got big reactions too. Big Luchasaurus chants. Everybody's happy to see Luchasaurus because we almost fucking lost him. He had this horribly similar thing happen to him that happened to Brody Lee. And it's like, I was very happy to see him. And according to Fightful, he's been ready for months. They've just been waiting for the right time. So this was good. This was actually the last time that he was in the ring. It was probably in London. So that's like they waited to bring him back here. So that's cool. I wonder if Nick Wayne is actually injured or if that was just a thing to get Luchasaurus on the card.
Kind of do this because we didn't really hear anything.
No, he did not.
Oh wow, yeah, because his last match was almost an exact year when he was in All in London 2024.
Yeah, see that? That's fucking nuts. Well, I'm happy to have him back, and I hope that they put him back with Jack Perry. Like, can we fix that?
Oh, someone had to be Dr. Frankenstein, and maybe they were
It did
wearing
look
the
like-
same jacket.
It did look like him. I guess we could get back into Christian versus Jack Perry. It would be interesting to see Edge and Christian versus fucking evil Jurassic Express. Now that I think about it. Oh shit!
I do really like the idea of the heel Jurassic Express.
And they're justified heels, like especially Luchasaurus. There's no reason to be mad at him. He got screwed over by Christian.
Christian forced him after winning a 20-man battle royal to give him a contract. The disrespect over the years as well.
Second match on the card, TNT Championship match. Kyle Fletcher, Hiromu Takahashi, who I guess Bryan Danielson heard a rumor that Taylor Swift is interested in Kyle Fletcher. And,
From Don Callis.
from Don Callis, though. He's fucking great. Bryan Danielson was just great on commentary. I love him.
He was killing it.
He's great in everything. How the fuck?
The perfect man.
Brie Bella's got to be... she's got to be grateful. He's great. He's great at everything, goddammit. Everything. But fucking Kyle Fletcher and Takahashi went out there and had a full on, you want to put us on the second match of the card? We will never fall into that trope. They came out there and wrestled like they were the main event. They fucking killed it. Takahashi, you would have thought like it was a foregone conclusion, but there was a couple moments where I was like, Anyway,
Did they work on a deal?
we got this incredible just I've been thinking about it all day. This damn back driver. Look at this shit. Oh, I guess I didn't. Did I share it? I didn't share it onto the screen. I'm so
I was gonna say,
retarded.
that's hidden away.
Look at this
Romo's in
shit.
a bad way here.
Romo was looking for that Cazadora from the ropes, but instead Fletcher.
Oh no.
Oh, wait a second,
Looks like
Fletcher.
he's holding a child.
Do you know how fucking strong you have to be? First of all, to like just not just strong, but to hold him up there, turn your ass around onto the ropes like that, and hit that back driver like avalanche back suplex like that. That was fucking great.
Balance,
and then,
strength, control. There's so much he had going there.
And then probably one of my favorite spots of the night, which I'll play without audio because I don't want them to get mad at me. Thank you, Tony Khan. Pow! Fucking murdered his ass. Then he runs out here for what should be like, sometimes the sunset flip can be all light and shit, but this hesitation, this delay made that feel and sound so much worse than it would have normally. Ultimately, though, Kyle Fletcher gets the win over Hiromu Takahashi. And Don Callis says that his faction has so much gold, he has to buy insurance to make sure that they don't get robbed.
I love him.
I love Don Callis. He's great. But yeah, now we followed that up with the women's AEW TBS championship, the women's TNT title. Not wrong at all. Mercedes Moné defeating Persephone, Alex Windsor, and Bozilla. 21 years old, Bozilla.
I was scared
His
she was
legacy.
gonna get Stephanie vacuumed.
They might call her ass up right now. Hey, Bozilla, we have a space for you in Florida.
Remember when your dad was a jobber here briefly?
He was. That happened. Her dad is German
Ulf
wrestler Hulk
Ulf Hermann.
Ulf Hermine. There you go.
Hermann.
But she's fucking great, and I have a feeling she's going to be bigger and better than he ever was. AEW, the home of the children of WWF jobbers. It's just pretty crazy. Nick Wayne and Bozilla are gonna have a baby, a third generation jobber child.
Mother Wayne's father.
Mother Wayne's dad was a wrestler. You're right. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, great stuff from the
It's
women.
wild.
It was there was a
Nick
lot
Wayne's a third generation talent and not from like the same lineage.
That's actually rare. That's rare. I think the other one is The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson. But yeah, no, this women's championship match, TBS championship match, there was a lot of innovation. At some points, it was a little clunky, but it was because
Right.
they were trying out a whole bunch of different shit. Mercedes
Zilla climbed
sold
the
her
ropes.
ass off for everyone all night long. Just dying. Look at her in the corner there, fucking selling like a dead fish.
Let the record show the Hulkster would have never done that for anyone, brother.
No, he wouldn't have. Oh, that doesn't work for me. Meanwhile, it's just great. It's great. How people have said that they have an issue with her and all the belts because it's like, oh, this is getting ridiculous. It's too much. None of these belts mean anything. I think the interesting thing about this is that a lot of people don't know is that infamous picture of Ultimo Dragon holding fucking 16 titles, half of those belts were inactive. They weren't real. Ultimo Dragon was holding decorations. Mercedes Moné is holding actual championships that she will someday drop. She will lose.
In those companies.
She will get pinned in those companies by people that we probably never fucking heard of. That's the Mercedes Moné you're talking about when you complain. She's got so many titles. This is fucking great. She makes that entrance. She made that entrance with the royal guards or whatever. That's great. I love it. This is something you're not gonna see
So
again.
cool.
You're not gonna see. You might never see someone hold this many championships, active wrestling championships.
Shout out to the one in the front on the left side that completely missed his mark at first.
He did. These guys actually suck as royal guards. But anyway, they fucking
Did their best.
It looks cool, I think. Mercedes basically putting her own twist on the Jushin Liger women walking out in bikinis holding his title by having pay-per-view entrances with different themed people holding the championships. I want her to keep on doing this. Actually, I wouldn't mind if she holds 12 titles. I don't care if she holds every independent women's championship in the fucking world. Like, she has to drag them out on a wagon. She doesn't even wear them anymore. She's got a pile of belts.
It's got like a wheelbarrow with like a bunch of titles that falling out still.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, she defended her title. It was a pretty damn good match. The streak
Absolutely.
continues.
Like, I want to say with this match, like, you don't really see a lot of like 4-way matches where every single wrestler really gets something out of it, win, lose, or draw. And I think all 4 women really were able to shine in this match and were able to each have their own, like, piece of the pie, to where every single fan is going out of there thinking, wow, I really like Bozilla for her power. I like Persephone for just being such a great all-rounder. Alex Windsor's never say die. And, Mercedes is still the champ. Like, it's wild how great all of those women were able to be and were able to showcase their own skill sets in these matches.
The big thing out of this was that I noticed a lot, like, just like you mentioned, for everyone, but specifically on Bozilla. People were fucking impressed by Bozilla, especially when they kept on pointing out that she's only 21 years old and has only been in Stardom for like 2 months or 3 months. Before that, she was in Marigold, which is like, that was the big thing. She was in Marigold, which was like the WWE feeder, and then jumped to Stardom, which is connected to New Japan and connected to AEW and on this side. So like, Tony Khan has apparently been interested in her since he heard that she became available. And it's not hard to see why. And I'm sure he's like salivating, like, oh, wait till that fucking tour is up. I'm coming for that fucking, I'm coming. I'd love to see like a Bozilla, Megan Bayne big meat match. Like, that would be fucking insane. But let her stay in Stardom for as long as possible. I don't go snatch her up at 21 years old, not ready for fucking weekly television. You know what I'm saying? Just because she's big, then you'll waste it, and then we'll be like begging for her to go to NXT or something. So like,
there was honestly, it was cool too, because I was able to check out, because when I heard about Bozilla, I really wasn't super familiar with her work, so I went and checked out some of her work from Marigold and Stardom, and like, she's wrestled some great talents with like Azumi. She's even had a match with Julia. Like, it's cool to see like what she's been able to do over the years.
And she's just getting started. Literally, these are the baby steps that she's taking. Persephone is great as well. I've seen her a couple times in CMLL, Ring of Honor, and now here. I'm glad that she's getting these opportunities on American TV, even though she's usually the one getting pinned. But I feel like that can change at a moment's notice. Anyway, like John said, expect the fucking WWE to call Bozilla tomorrow so that we never see her again. We followed that up.
Real quick, I think
one
of the
ahead.
things too was, and you might have mentioned this already, that Tony Khan only like in the last couple days found out that she was available for this, so he quickly tried to sign her as fast.
Give me the big one. Give me the big one right now, Tony. You should give me the fucking big one. Anyway, we follow that up with the IWGP World Championship match, but that kicks off with a pre-match video where Nigel McGuinness plays chess with the legendary Johnny Saint. Technical wrestling is like chess. You got to give up a hold to take a hold. That was awesome.
When he was with Johnny Sins.
No, it's the wrong Johnny. Stop. Johnny Saints. The funniest thing to me was that he was still in the crowd after this match.
Yeah.
So, like, and you can see like the awe and shock on his face, and like with what was it? The tag match, fucking Brodito and FTR, and they're doing all these like flips and shit. And I'm like, Johnny Saints that never seen some shit like that in his fucking life.
I
He's
bet
like-
his whole world was shifted when he watched that cage match.
he was like, what the fuck?
We never did this in my day.
where's the twisting toads in this? But anyway, Nigel McGuinness and Zack Sabre Jr. They went out there and they had the kind of match that only they can have. It's special. It's not just European flavor, but it was. They did have a lot of callbacks and tributes to the kind of world of sport style technical wrestling, but it was just a technical masterpiece. Like it was Bryan Danielson, Hechicero, and now Nigel McGuinness. There are not many people in the world that can have this kind of match. It's not a knock on anybody's talent. They just didn't train that way. Their minds weren't set to wrestle that way. That's not how they learned to they don't know how to bring emotion out holding on to holds. That's not easy. That's not, no, it can get boring. As a matter of fact, the rest hold is a joke in WWE. We laugh at the rest hold because that motherfucker's holding on to it so he can take a breath. Not these guys. Every fucking submission attempt, every reversal, everything had a meaning or a purpose, and it all led to something else in the match or in the transition or in the chain of transitions. Special, fucking special watching Nigel go out there and be able to wrestle this match in 2025.
Yeah.
And not just that, Nigel was smacking those fucking lariats like it was 2008. I loved it. He was killing Zack Sabre Jr. I gotta have a clip of one of those lariats somewhere because fuck
Yeah.
Zack,
Look
and
there.
Zack, to his credit, look at that shit. Hit clothesline into a goddamn moonsault.
Anticipation, incredible.
I really wish they showed Johnny Saint, and also the legendary Marty Jones was also sitting right
He
next to
was.
him. Marty
He-
Jones,
he,
who trained William Regal.
He appeared in our comment section today. Very cool.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh!
I
Those
didn't
guys,
know he had a Facebook.
that was like the
what
coolest thing, though, to see those guys who are two legends that have been at the game for decades. That they themselves were having just such a great time watching this and watching. Again, this was multi-generational when you think about it. You've got Nigel, then you go up a generation with ZSJ, and then you go behind the generation for guys like Marty and Johnny.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. It's like grandpa wrestling was watching.
Yeah, 3 generations of wrestling
It's-
right there, representing British. Oh my gosh, that was so.
I actually wish they would have put emphasis on that. I wish someone on commentary would have pointed that out because that's a really cool thing. Sometimes AEW will stumble onto things like I don't know if y'all did it on purpose and forgot to highlight it, or if you did not know you had this. Like it was just like, oh, that's right, you're right. You noticed that on Twitter. But yeah, we fucking Zack Sabre Jr. retains the championship, but the story of the match
Looking sus.
can't be told without bringing up Daniel Garcia, who, while he didn't turn on Nigel in this match, he just kept on being pesky, like at ringside. He kept on like touching the ropes when he wasn't supposed to, and getting in trouble by the referee.
So in a character.
Yeah, so something's up with Nigel or with Daniel. He had the fucking towel. I thought he was gonna throw that shit in or something
Yeah.
like that. John, what'd you think of this?
I like the feat Zack Sabre Jr. has now. We had matches with both Bryan and Nigel.
It's
2 matches with
that's
Bryan. More than-
that's true. I actually hadn't thought of that. That's a big ass deal, especially for the big old school ROH fans. That's
Plus, they
huge.
pointed out on commentary, going
He
with
did.
the point there, John Jr., of the fact that Danielson was now on commentary for Nigel's match.
That's right. Fuck, you're absolute shit. I didn't peep that. Goddamn, Nigel was on commentary for Bryan's match with DSR. Oh no, he wouldn't have been, because
That was Wrestle Dream.
it was at Oh yeah, it was at Wrestle Dream. Yeah, he was.
And-
I was
and
thinking of.
Osaka.
They had 2, right? They did have 2. They had one in New Japan.
Yeah.
They had one on the day after Wrestle Kingdom.
That's right. I'll go back into the archives and double check. I don't have the date on the top of my head. Thank you for joining us. The Don Callis family is overpowered now. I wonder what their plans are for Wardlow. We're about to get into that in a
So
little
many
bit.
powerhouses in one group. I love it.
But before that, we had Thekla and Queen Aminata brawling backstage out onto the fucking ramp, and I was excited because I thought they were about to wrestle. I thought they
Yeah.
were brawling out to the ring. I was like, are they gonna get a ref? What the
Match?
fuck? And then when they kind of stopped on the ramp, I was like, okay, this feels like there's gonna be like a debut or a return or something. And then it was Jamie Hayter returns to AEW from injury after Double or Nothing in her match with Mercedes Moné. The thing that I'm concerned about is that fucking Jamie Hayter is back, and it looks like she took the Thekla feud back. Like, okay, thank you, Queen Aminata. This like I am the main character again. Like, no, wait.
Now
Stop.
I can squash the spider.
Fuck, no, this can't be. Like, Aminata and Thekla had such a great thing going, and they never got a fucking pay-per-view pull-off or a real singles match. Like, it was just like she was holding Jamie Hayter's place until Jamie returned. The cope, I guess, that I have left is that Jamie can't fight all the Triangle of Madness by herself. So, it'll probably Aminata gets to stay involved. But I don't like that Aminata's not going to get the big fucking... She's not going to get to squish the spider. Like, that's bullshit. That's fucking garbage. That's racism. I'm calling racism. Aminata's star needs to be rising faster than it is, or you're going to lose her to NXT. I'm just saying. But anyway, we followed that Jamie Hayter return up with Brodito versus FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate in a match that was originally set to be an elimination match, but suspiciously ended up not being one. Like, okay. So this was wild. This was great. It got a little messy at the end, though, because Bandito wasn't the legal person. But when they went for the finish, which I should bring up, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony brawled Hurt Syndicate away from the ring. And in masks at first, dressed in New Japan gear so that you couldn't tell who they were. And then they unmasked and revealed who they were and then got the fuck out of there.
So fast.
I was like, oh, it's just Ricochet. But
history, why don't you?
They implied on commentary that MJF might have sent Ricochet and them after the Hurt Business. So we'll see how that turns out.
I was honestly thinking, sorry to interrupt you there. I was just thinking that like that was going to lead into MJF's match and cause some sort of shenanigans, before we found out all the contract stuff and then contract attempts, but that didn't happen.
It did not, thankfully. Almost.
Right. It was a good match.
It was a great match. As overbooked as the ending was, but we.
But this could have made it more overbooked, John.
Okay, Dusty.
We're gonna get a lot more interference up in there, baby.
After Hurt Syndicate got brawled away up the ramp, Bandito, Brody King, and FTR were all that remained. They do their finish, which is that pop-up 450 on the ring, which was a little bit ugly this time. But Bandito wasn't the legal man, and they forgot. So he tries to get off, but everything's happening so fast. They're like, just get back on him. Fuck that. And they just pin him. They just do the 3 count. And it was a little clunky and awkward, but I was so happy that Brodito won the belts that I was just like, fuck it. It's good. I'm good. Less happy that her syndicate took the bullshit way out and didn't take the pin there at all. No MVP is interesting. Is he not able to travel? Is that a thing? Like,
that was what I was under the impression of, because I know that was an issue they had too with like getting Jeff Hardy to go internationally.
Yeah, I didn't know that he had an issue. I know he's been to prison, but I didn't know it was to the point where he couldn't fucking travel.
Because that was the thing. I know wrestlers that have spent time in prison, I think depending on the crime, they weren't able to travel to certain locations.
Shit. But he wasn't here tonight. And because he wasn't here, no one was able to politic for her syndicate to keep their belts. No, I'm kidding. That's like no, no, but they did lose the titles, and so we'll see what happens next. I'm sure her syndicate versus Gates of Agony is it, Tony Khan is like, you wanted to lose the Gates of Agony so bad, I got you. Let's take the belts off you first. Oh, wait, hold on.
I don't remember agreeing to this.
So we'll see how that goes. But
Where's MVP?
Up next, Swerve Strickland and Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Unified Championship. Swerve Strickland out with the Mr. Terrific suit. I love that shit. He had the gear on, the pants too, the fair play, but it says whose house instead. Fire. Kazuchika Okada, I'm used to the theme song by now. That didn't take me long. I'm like, I can dig this shit. It's because I watch so much anime though. I'm sorry. I like Japanese rock music.
It's still
It
turned
turns-
off after the coin drop.
It does take that's what takes a little bit to get around. After the coin drop, you expect that original riff, but it's something just on the other side of the world to that. Yeah, it's I remember thinking it was Def Rebel like for a second, like what the fuck? And then hearing the whole song and it's like, this sounds familiar. I've heard this kind of music in the past, and it's because it's fucking One OK Rock. It's one of the biggest goddamn bands in Japan. I was like, okay.
He needs to take the anime stylings up a notch and then change it out every year.
Oh, well, yeah, every season. Every time he drops
Every
a belt.
Yeah, exactly. Every new chase or championship has got a new song.
This was a good match, but I feel like because the story they worked was about Swerve's knee, it was like a slower pace than I expected it to be. But it was still great. It was still Swerve Strickland versus Kazuchika Okada. Unfortunately, we might be losing Swerve for a few months, or maybe just 1 or 2 months. I've heard a rumor that he might be back by October. But yeah, Swerve Strickland, Kazuchika Okada, fucking Rainmaker reversal into a short arm house call. Okada did not let go of the wrist, by the way. If Okada gets rigor mortis with his hands around your wrist, you're fucked, bro. like he's knocked out, but he has not let go of your hand. You are dead. He's going to wake up and fucking take your head somewhere. But
which was the coolest part then when the roles were reversed and then Swerve ended up getting hold of the wrist.
That's good shit. Swerve Strickland not able to get the win. Okada retains and then destroys Swerve's knee on the ring post. And after Swerve is dead already, Wardlow comes out and makes his return after how many fucking months? Probably over a year now?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
In that one Dynamite match, and we haven't seen him since then.
Yeah, and then he went and shot American Gladiator, but now he's back on AEW television. He appears behind behind Prince Nana, and kills him while Swerve is watching helplessly. But he didn't hit
last
Swerve.
match was March 13th, 2024 for Big Business.
More than a year. Holy shit. A year and a half. A year and a half without Wardlow. This is probably the last chance to make this work.
Honestly.
Like, I don't know how many times we can reset this Wardlow thing.
Especially because the crowd's already getting behind a lot of bigger, meatier, stronger men.
Yeah. And he's got the man bun back, though. So, shit. Who knows? But, yeah, so he beat the shit out of Prince Nana. Don Callis family poses up on the ramps. Like, this faction, let me pull up the list. Because off the top of my head, I know this faction includes Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Wardlow, Hechiseto, Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, Rocky Marrero, Trent Beretta, and Brian Cage is out there injured somewhere.
Yeah, the machine.
But this is a fucking army. Like, this is a absolute unit. This is a Lance Storm commented on one of my posts and called them the Callous World Order because they're so fucking big It does give NWO vibes.
Honestly,
Um,
like I was getting like Paul Jones Army vibes because Paul Jones, when he was in the earlier Jim Crockett Promotions days, he had so many like really big, tough, muscular wrestlers. He had Barbarian, he had Warlord, Abdullah the Butcher, Baron von Raschke. He had so many big guys in his stable, and literally that's why a lot of times, even before it really became a thing, I was even saying it's the Don Callis Army because it reminded me of the Paul Jones Army so much.
I just think like it's a fucking legit army of wrestlers, and it's like you have
That's so many.
no less than 4 top singles wrestlers in a faction, and fucking 5 soldiers. Like this is insane, and it's not like being in the faction is keeping them from shining. Kyle Fletcher's star is shining brighter than it ever has been. Kazuchika Okada has had a serious turn and is working so fucking well. Takeshita is coming off the G1 climax. All right. And not for nothing, we've already set up Takeshita's exit from the group 2 times now. He's got beef with Okada, who he never liked. And now he's staring down Wardlow like, who the fuck are these people in my house? I didn't invite them in here. So even if and when the Don Callis family loses Takeshita, fucking army.
The coolest
And
thing too is even the fall guys within the army, like Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero and whatnot. Like
Josh
even
Alexander.
like there's still all these opportunities that you still see them looking strong and winning their matches too. It might not be frequently like the other guys, but at the same time, watch Collision, watch Ring of Honor, you'll see some of those guys getting those victories.
Lance Archer is on TV more than he's been in a long ass time.
Right.
Don Callis, I mean, at the end, when this is all said and done, it's going to be hard not to put Don Callis on the list of greatest managers. Not just the fact that the faction has so many people in it, but he's so effective with all of them. He's got something unique for them all, too. He's got the unique Hechicero introduction. Yo soy Hechicero. He keeps calling himself Hechicero by accident because he doesn't know Spanish. He's got the Kyle Fletcher thing. He's got the Okada thing. Now he'll have something for Wardlow, I'm sure. This is going to be great. How the fuck? That's the thing that makes him stand out amongst wrestling managers now. It's like, it's a faction, but it's also a stable. They get involved with each other's stuff sometimes, but mostly he's just all those people's managers individually.
Mhm.
And he calls on them when he needs them to help him because he's a piece of shit. I love it. I can't wait to see what this ends up being. I had a friend of mine theorize that this was going to end with Takeshita joining the Elite to fight the Don Callis family because of the Young Bucks' current involvement with Don Callis and how they don't really trust him either. That would be a cool callback to how Takeshita first joined the company. He teamed up with the Elite in his very first match. They were the ones who vouched for him, and Kenny Omega is the one who's told Tony Khan how great this kid was. So if that's the ultimate destination, maybe Blood and Guts 1 year from now, that would put the Elite at 5 members, right? 5 on 5. The Young Bucks, Omega, Hangman, Takeshita against who knows who'd be in the Don Callis side of the fucking faction. I'd love to see something like that. What did you guys think of this match? Wardlow's return, the Swerve Strickland getting fucking killed and probably being gone for the next few months.
Mr.
All right.
Junior, do you want to go first?
Goddamn, damn right.
No, it was a really solid match. Swerve he'd probably be back like he did last year at Wrestle Dream. Come back in October. But one thing I like about this match in Don Callis family is that everyone in the Don Callis family is like stars. Like 1 year ago today wouldn't even be on TV. They'll be on Ring of Honor doing something low card. So he's taking all these people that weren't shown as much love from Tony Khan and he's elevated them as the bigger stars and it got them more opportunities than they would have had without Don Callis.
That's because he's the goddamn GOAT. He deserves to wear those belts Okada lets him wear when they walk down to the ring. Nick, what did you think?
Oh man, I mean, I want to first again. I think some total, complete, utter love and appreciation for the Don Callis family. I mean, it's fun to hate on them when you're watching the show, but at the same time, like, they're such a good stable. And like we were saying, you guys brought up the very valid point that they're very much almost like an NWO. But I think the biggest difference is every single member, top to bottom, in the Don Callis family actually feels important. Like they have a spot in the group. They feel unique. Whereas when you watch like anything with the NWO, especially when it comes to the NWOB team, so many of those guys just felt like they were nothing, just generic fodder in the group. So Hogan and the Outsiders and Savage didn't have to take pinfall losses. But in this instance, sure, we might have some fodder guys in there, but again, they feel like they all have a purpose in the family. They all feel like they have their own presence, and it's more unique. So I think it's very important, and I think a lot of these guys are much more important to the Don Callis family than most of the other guys in the NWO were to their team. I mean, yeah, look at that. Look at all that meat in there.
That's really the biggest difference, I guess, is that everyone's utilized for purpose. You have the top part. Like, this stable is set up like a fucking roster of its own television show. You get the top tier, the middle tier, and then the bottom tier soldiers. Like, this is fucking incredible. I can't wait to see it utilized as a unit. Like, they need to open Dynamite. Just they're probably the top heel faction right now. Like, Moxley and them are gone. They're on the way out. This is about to become the focal point of AEW right here on the second half, leading into probably All In next year. This will be the beast that needs to be defeated.
Oh, that'd be really cool if this is what the setting up for this to be that next generation of beast for AEW to unite against. Because, how cool would it be if all of a sudden something happens and like, oh, Don Callis, you're fired. And the next week, Don Callis and the army just come in and completely take over Dynamite. Like, nah, this is our show. What are you talking about? What are you going to do? Stand up to Wardlow, stand up to the Machine, Fletch, Okada, Takeshita. Like, look at how much beef you got right there. And I mean, think about it too. Go on, John.
No, I love how one big star doesn't overshadow the other. Like we have Kazuchika Okada in the same faction as Brian Cage, but it doesn't feel like Okada's overshadowing anybody in the faction, knowing what the legacy Okada has in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle Fletcher is shining, like bigger than he's ever been. It's and partly because of fucking Don Callis.
And he shows love to the rest of the members too.
They're all cool with each other except for Takeshita. He's starting to act funny.
He's getting a little silly, but that's okay because remember, his true love, Fletch, is still there.
That's right. As long as Kyle Fletcher believes in him. Anyway, we'll move on from this.
Power-wise. But real quick, we'll get back to like the match itself. I did want to say that one of the parts I really appreciated too, since one of the stories of the match was Swerve Strickland working through one of his many injuries, that being the meniscus, I believe. And that spot that Swerve loves to do, where he just kind of like flips over the top rope and then flips back and lands on his feet. Even though I don't know if that was purposeful mistake or mess up or what for this, where he just kind of landed on his butt, but honestly, whether it was purposeful or not, it really added to that, I feel, because, ordinarily something like that happens, like we said earlier with any botches during the cage match at the main event, fans are very much instinctively going to say, like, you effed up and, call attention to it and whatnot. But in that instance, again, it worked so much when it came to telling and furthering the story of the match. And the commentary, I think, did a really great job, too, of bringing that up, because they even said, usually he can do that like it's nothing, snap of his fingers, boom, he did it. But in that instance, that injured leg made it impossible.
It was, like I said, it slowed the pace of the match because of the story they were telling, but it was a good story they were telling. So I forgave it. I had someone tell me they didn't think the match got into second gear. I was like, well, I mean, I can see how you feel that way, especially compared to some of Swerve's faster paced, more impactful matches, kind of like the Will Ospreay match or something like that. But they had something to say here, and I'm sure they'll run this match again. Both guys
are so open for a rematch.
Mm-hmm. So we followed that up with the Women's Championship match. Toni Storm defeating Athena to retain with a chicken wing submission. Now, here's this was my first problem of the night. Everybody's not gonna agree with me. I know, because I love Toni Storm too. I also love that Toni Storm is an undefeatable champion. Like, I'm okay with that. That's a silver lining for me. I'm fine. But Athena was in Ring of Honor as the women's champion. It still is. Approaching 900 days undefeated.
Forever
Comes to
champion.
AEW, loses to Mercedes Moné. Wins a battle royale, loses to Toni Storm. So what you fucking telling me is that she's only forever champion in Ring of Honor because she's not good enough to be a main event person in AEW? Like, that's what the fuck you're telling me? This was a moment to shock everyone and create a new big star in the women's division and create a second slot of importance on television. Because Toni Storm without the championship is still Toni Storm. Anybody who gets to wrestle Toni Storm or who's in a feud with Toni Storm has the privilege of being in a meaty feud with someone that cares about what the fuck they're doing on television. And then you had the women's championship with Athena. That would have been perfect. Athena needed to show why she was forever Ring of Honor champion by beating the AEW women's champion. It was the fucking easiest story to tell here, and that would have created so many opportunities on the other side of it. But we had her lose to a submission. She tapped out. I love Toni Storm. I just think that this was done at the expense of Athena. And I think that Athena knew that because in the beginning of the match, and probably for most of the match, she was selling like Shawn Michaels in fucking 2005 against Hulk Hogan. She was moving like she did not want to do this. I definitely go back and see how Toni Storm was reacting to how Athena was moving. The commentary had to point out that Toni's moving with desperation here, but no, she was trying to sit Athena's ass down. Like, Athena's moving and moving and moving, and Toni's like, I'm trying to kill you with a fucking fisherman suplex so that you can stop moving and at least sell this thing. Or I'm going to put you down with a fucking power bomb because you are doing cartwheels and shit. Like, she hit her with something, and Athena went and sold it with a cartwheel, with an actual cartwheel for her selling. I was like, she's not happy. I can tell. It's like it was crazy. I almost don't blame her though. I don't blame Athena for feeling that way. Anyway, Mac, we did mention that earlier in the night. They would not be pulling that Money in the Bank shit in All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, Jesus says, what's the point of winning these title contender stuff if they're never going to win the title? Athena was perfect to beat Toni. And I get, like, a lot of people disagreed with me when I said that, too. Like, oh, did you really think Athena was going to beat Toni Storm? I think if you wanted to make a point, then yes, you would have had Athena beat Toni Storm. That's how I feel about it. But maybe I'm blinded because I think Athena is much better than we're using her as. Like, I thought the idea was that she would stay in Ring of Honor as domination. And then the day she came to AEW, you would transfer all that same energy over here. But it's just not how it happened. So I'm not happy with this at all. But
I just
maybe
always so sad when it comes to how Athena loses her matches on AEW TV because it feels like those don't have a whole lot of resistance to them. You know, when she tapped out, it's not like she like completely resisted. It was like, here's the move. You know, it's a chicken wing maneuver. You got, Johnny Saint and Marty Jones up there in the front. So, give them a tribute. But then all of a sudden she just taps out like really fast. And again, I don't know if it was because you've got those guys there and, wanted to have an effective move in front of them. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel right for someone that's been a world champion in Ring of Honor for so long and is still a champ and has been for years to just all of a sudden lose so definitively at times. Because it felt the same way when she lost. What was it? When she lost against Mercedes?
Yeah, Boston.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't like how super quickly and definitive it is. Like, there needs to be some extra resistance there. Like, have her pass out in the submission, Have like a little bit of something extra there. I know AEW is not always one for that, but for Athena, who again is a long-standing, long-time reigning women's champion, I feel like she deserves to be an exception to the rule.
Racism.
I feel like
racism.
Don't see it. I feel like we're not going to see Athena win any big AEW title match until she loses the Ring of Honor belt, because then she's gonna lose it. But like, now I need somewhere else to conquer. She's gonna come to the main roster of AEW. She's gonna take the title for herself. She's gonna do what she did on Ring of Honor here. Because I don't see something like, I don't see her going to Ring of Honor with the AEW World Women's title, because they only have the CBS title. Mercedes holding it hostage. The women don't have anything to do up there. So I think they're waiting for Athena to drop the Ring of Honor title for them to have her win the big one on the main roster.
They could do a thing where she talks about how she got cocky and confident because she was champion already, but it won't happen again, bitch. like something to recapture her power, like her fucking dominance. Like there's got to be some story way to get her back to that place. And
Even
yeah,
then,
maybe
that
it's
only
time.
works once.
It does only work once. You only got one shot, and at that point, she needed to come in and dominate. So if she ever gets another women's title opportunity, which she should, it has to be the one. Like she has to win. There's no, you can't waste Athena here. It reminds me of when she fought Asuka in NXT for the women's championship, and it felt like a fucking foregone conclusion. Like this is the one. It's time. And she got tapped out. She got choked out by Asuka's chicken wing. Same fucking finish.
It's always the chicken wing.
It's the chicken wing. This is her
That
weakness.
needs to become her character, just like how any moves to the head knock Miro out.
She needs to hate chicken wings. Billy Starks needs to be eating chicken wings, and she needs to slap them shits out of her hand. Get chicken wings away from me. So yeah, that the story continues with Athena, Ember Moon.
No.
I was at that fucking NXT takeover, and I also thought Athena would win, but I was rooting for Asuka just to be like spiteful, like the fucking person that's not gonna win, and then she actually won. I was like, oh shit.
You did this, John.
I did that. I
You
shouldn't have
caused
cheered
that.
so hard. I shouldn't have cheered so hard.
They heard your reaction, like, okay, maybe we will change it.
The other side of the coin, you got Toni Storm now, who has this fucking dominance energy. She ended Mercedes' streak. She killed Mariah May, sent her to fucking hell. She ended Athena's streak, or I guess Mercedes did, but she kind of killed Athena as well. Beat a 900-day champion. So the question now that everybody asks is like, who's gonna beat Toni Storm? And now people are like, it's gotta be someone that matters. And so if it was my choice, I would give it to someone who has been loyal to this company, who has put it on their back, who's chosen AEW. Willow Nightingale. She's so fucking great. I want to strap her with every belt. But it's not my choice. So it'll probably be fucking, she'll drop it because of injury because they waited too long. Fuck.
I mean, this feels like one of those things where, again, you've written yourself into a corner somewhat because...
He said Dakota Kai. Get the fuck out of here, Jesus.
Listen, you got Athena as the forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Mercedes as, 9 belts Monet. And then timeless Toni Storm, who will forever and at the end of the time eternally hold on to that women's title. You've got 3 basically forever champions, right? And then it's like... we're starting to get into that situation where we've boxed ourselves in because Toni Storm has now defeated those other 2. So you need someone that's going to be really big and grand that can easily also not just take on timeless Toni Storm, but who would also make sense because she is able to defeat Toni Storm, who has defeated these other 2 forever champions.
It's that pro wrestling doesn't respect power scaling, and it pisses me off. You need to respect power scaling. You fucking had Toni Storm. If she defeated these people, that makes her more powerful than them. So that means the person who defeats her has to be more powerful than all of them. That's just how it works. But it's
I want to see
wrestling.
like a chart of like an AEW like power scale.
I think that we'll find out that Hologram is the most powerful person in AEW right now.
Hologram is Shenron.
His power level is insane. Jamie Hayter is one. I think we should probably spend time giving Jamie Hayter back the heat that she used to have before jumping right into it, because they cooled her off a lot. We'll see though. We will see. I love Jamie Hayter, and I think she's a great champion. Yeah, Nanti said the same thing. Build Jamie back up and revisit that storyline. That's exactly what I just said. You got to build her first and get back to that, because you can't jump right into it right now. I think partly therefore, partly because of space on the card, she fell to the wayside, and then she got injured right when she was getting heat back. So now you got to kind of start back over. But it's fine. It's cool. She's Jamie Hayter. She's going to be all right. She's fucking great.
Haterade.
So the final match we're going to talk about here tonight, the AEW Men's World Championship. Hangman makes a good point in that if you call it AEW Women's World Championship, but you call this one the AEW World Championship, then you kind of make that one feel less than. So calling it the Men's World Championship would be a pretty cool thing if they made that official. You don't have to put it on the belt, right? But
Perfectly balanced is all.
it'd be cool to acknowledge it that way. Maybe put it on the graphic at least, right? But yeah, Hangman versus MJF. This was awesome. I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna bother people. One,
Oh,
it's an MJF match. At this point, are you fucking surprised? Like, it makes me laugh so hard when MJF things happen and people are like, "Gosh, he ruined it. He ruined my special fucking straight clean wrestling match." That's his fucking job. He doesn't want to wrestle a straight clean match. He wants to win. That's his character.
that's how he does it.
Why would Hangman versus MJF not have an overbooked finish? They said last week when MJF tried to murder a man in order to get special rules for his title match, that there would be a fucking he would either change hands via disqualification or count out. At that point, you should have known there was going to be fucking MJF shenanigans in this match.
Even when he was a face, there was shenanigans from MJF.
What the fuck? It's so funny seeing people who should be smarter than this complaining about overbooking in an MJF match for the MJF finish. And not only that, the whole match leading up to that was fucking awesome. They were killing it. This was a full-on main event. If the lights out match hadn't been the main event, this would have been a perfectly serviceable main event. We would have still went home happy with this show. So yeah, the story is that MJF is trying to get Hangman to get himself disqualified, and Hangman is smarter than that. But MJF will still poke a little fucking harder, and Hangman will think about it, but he won't fucking do it because he's smarter than MJF. That's pretty simple storytelling. In the end, MJF fucking knocks the referee out. It works. He pins Hangman, gets the 3 count. The ref doesn't see the foot on the rope. Exactly like happened to Mark Briscoe. Except this time, Mark Briscoe won't let that shit happen again. So he runs out, given enough time for Bryce to wake up and realize that Hangman's foot was on the rope. Now, if you want to have a problem with this match, I would say that it's fucking weird that Bryce Remsburg can count the 3, but it doesn't count until he says to ring the bell. Like he's been pinned. What are you talking about? Like he's got to say ring the bell for it to count. That's fucking dumb. But it happened, and nobody else really had that issue with it, so I'll leave it alone. I was just
Don't forget the
nitpicking.
part where Bryce is basically what looks like he's playing possum just to see what MJF is going to do, and he's like, "I caught you."
Bryce Remsburg will always catch MJF. He knows MJF. He's always reffing MJF's matches. So him standing up and catching his fucking fist, that was like Ultra Instinct Bryce Remsburg.
Yeah, that's my
fucking
favorite.
great.
My favorite trope with Bryce Remsburg is the fact that because again he gets better and better at figuring out MJF's tricks.
Yeah. Especially that Dynamite Diamond Ring. It doesn't work anymore. You notice because he doesn't use it anymore because Bryce Remsburg will fucking catch him. Jesus says he doesn't care how the finish was. We should just be happy Hangman kept the belt. Understandable. He said, do we think there will be a Briscoe versus MJF match one more time with the big stipulation and maybe MJF's contract on the line? That's interesting. That they haven't put the contracts on the line yet, right? In like regular matches. That'd be a cool thing to do.
They did they did it for Darby and John Moxley before he fought Bryan.
Was it a contract thing? They had
he had a title shot.
Oh, that's
John
right.
Moxley
He
took it and then
took
retired Bryan.
Darby's title shot.
Yeah, was it from that the Rampage?
It was like
Rumble?
Grand Slam.
Yeah, it was in New York.
Oh, that
He
was
took the belt. He took Darby's title shot, headed into Wrestle Dream, and he was like, "Sorry, kid, I need that."
Yeah, because then Darby went Royal Rampage.
Off. Yeah, you're right. Yep. I love those Royal Rampage matches. I miss Rampage.
This is
Rest
Rampage,
in
baby.
peace. Anyway, yeah, Hangman and MJF, great stuff. Hangman
You know what
retains the belt in
does-
the end.
You know what does have power scaling? You know, we might not have power scaling in wrestling, but the security team for AEW definitely has power
You,
scaling.
yeah, you got the jobber team, and then you got the
The
real
big boys.
security.
Briscoe easily made his way through the lower echelon guys, but when he hit Cheesecake, oh man, Cheesecake made sure he didn't pass.
Well, that was the thing, right? Earlier in the night, there were fucking security guys getting killed by Wardlow and shit. So this time they had extra. They let Mark Briscoe go down to the ring. I do think that this story with MJF and Hangman, one, it's definitely not over. MJF has a fucking contract. That's happening. And two, we should get a Mark Briscoe World Championship match out of this. I'm not saying he should win the title, but he got screwed out of the World Championship. And Hangman is an honorable cowboy, so he should offer the title shot to Mark Briscoe the way he would not offer the title shot to MJF, even though MJF was asking for some reason. That's the thing about MJF that's funny as fuck. He doesn't think what he does is bad. Like, he really thought he was gonna ask Hangman for a title shot and just, I don't want to use my contract. Like, what the fuck? I hate you. What? Get out of here. So Hangman giving the title shot to Mark Briscoe would be like another slap in the face to MJF. Like, fuck you. I asked too. How dare you? But what did you guys think of this match, MJF, and probably moving forward, whatever we're going to be doing with Hangman? And also this.
I think there was another part where he did something similar to that as well.
It was MJF humped his face. Like, that's a legend. That's a meme from Revolution in Los Angeles, where he goes and he hits the ropes, and then instead of kicking him, he just fucked his face.
There was like a part where Hangman did that again to MJF in this match.
Did he? I didn't see it the second time.
That's just like he did it again. But man, this match itself was pretty fun. I'm glad that that's going to be just on repeat while I like
that is right next to you.
Perfect. I mean, to be fair, I mean, there's only 3 of us, so it's got to be next to all of us. But like, I'm just so I don't think I can talk. I'm so distracted with how incredible that is. I can't.
I'll
make it full screen. make everyone see it full screen. Oh my gosh. But like, that was like one of the things with this match in particular. MJF, I think, is masterful when it comes down to using like broken tables. Like, I remember one time, what was the match? Like, the announce table broke, but he still wanted to go through it. And, you know, we saw that again with the broken table that he smashed Hangman through on this match in particular.
That was so fucking nasty. You could see like the stain from Hangman's head on the broken table. Also, that table, MJF was so determined to keep the fucking sheet on it, and then Hangman almost slips off of it during the dead eye. This is why we don't have sheets on tables. When we fucking could have killed him.
Also, I wanted to say one of the cool things that I was noticing with like the entire show tonight was anytime someone that has the championship was getting ready to come out, they would show that little like CGI graphic of the championship, you know, being on display like for this right before Hangman came out. It was like world championship title. And I thought that was really cool how like right before the champions came out, they showed it.
I love the graphics. But yeah, man, that was AEW Forbidden Door. In a nutshell, mostly. What was you guys' match of the night? That's a good question. I'll answer because I already have it.
There's a lot of good ones. That's the issue.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness, man. That was special. It was different from anything on the card. It was different from anything you're going to see for the rest of the year. They went out there and they painted fucking their canvas exactly the way they wanted to. And it's not, there's not many big places that you can do stuff like that. That's why I like this company, man. Because you get shit like that on a fucking American pay-per-view. They are reading Shakespeare to these fucking dogs. Except that these dogs actually appreciated and understood it. So, yeah, man. What about you, Nick? It's your match of the night.
Man, I have to say, when I'm thinking match of the night, I have to 100% go with our main event, that lights out steel cage match, Ospreay's team versus Death Riders and the Buckaroos. Like, come on, this match had a little bit of everything for everyone. You had deathmatch aspects, you had technical wrestling, you had high-flying, death-defying moments, you had comedy with the gummy bears and whatnot. You had so many different things that all came together to make such a great, fun match. And I guarantee this is one of those matches that I could just, pop on in the background on like a boys' night. We're all hanging out and like we could enjoy ourselves, but also just really enjoy that match while that's running. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things about a lot of these just crazy, chaotic matches, like the Lights Out Steel Cage, or like things like Anarchy in the Arena and Stadium Stampede and whatnot. There's so much fun with it. It doesn't have to take itself too seriously either. You had Mbop, you had the Gummy Bears, and who thinks that you can't have those in a serious death match, right? Plus then you had the swerve at the end. This was just honestly one of the most perfect ways that they could have gone through with ending such a fine show with some great graps.
Lil Jon, what was your favorite match?
Probably that steel cage. Like Nick was saying, like it's like everything you could ask for in AEW is in that one match. Like the comedy, like Stadium Stampede, the chaos and anarchy in the arena, the blood death match John Moxley always ends up bringing to the ring.
Disgusting man.
Can't even play the clip of Darby's ear. Get taken down everywhere.
Yeah, we're dead after that. We're just as bad as his earlobe if we play that clip. Hey, Sue says the same thing. Lights Out cage match or the 4-way women's championship match. Understandable. That was great. That was good shit. They did a Tower of Doom spot that people say it has been done before, but I was just like, what the fuck? Because I haven't seen that shit. But yeah, no shit. That's AEW Forbidden Door. Make sure to catch us again Tuesday night as Tyler will recap NXT Heatwave and the NXT main show. Follow us on all social medias as you've been seeing scrolling across the bottom of our platform, and go to the Dershi Radio website, dershiradio.com. Daily pop culture, comic book, and wrestling news and results and all that good shit there. We're streaming live after every post show, after every pay-per-view. WWE post shows have come to a halt because the WWE team gave up on us. So now we have to they'll put together a new WWE team. But until then, unless maybe you guys want me to be on the WWE team, but I'm telling you, I'm just gonna spend the whole time shitting on the show, and it's like that's not gonna work. That's not the best. Anyway,
hey, you know what team is going to have some fun? I believe it's going to be this Friday. The WCW squad, Mac and I are going to be talking all about World War III 1995.
World War III 1995. And we also have other WCW recaps that they've done archived on YouTube. So go check that shit out.
WCW Bash at the Beach? One of our
Bash at the
ones?
Bitch? He's bashing bitches? Stop it. No. Anyway, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Join the conversation. Comment on our videos. Comment on our posts. Help us earn some money so that we can pay for the fucking subscriptions that we need to cover things, because there's nothing cheap anymore, apparently.
Wrestling's getting more and more expensive as time.
It's hard. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. I love you all, and especially you who's still listening to our plugs, because you are my friend. I love you. Actually, truly, and fully. We'll see you next week.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless
The sport of professional wrestling.